Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel and welcome to a Meals of the Week video where I'm sharing with you what we had for tea for 5 days, and at the end I'm also going to show you what was left on my toddler or my 2-year-old's plate so you can see what he eats as well. So I really hope that you enjoy it. The first meal that I'm showing you is just some pies that we had. We had the corn pies, and with that we always do some sort of potato, so I've just brought in some normal potato and sweet potato too. So these are the pies. They're really good. We love to get them, but not the supermarkets don't always do them. Anyway, yeah, so I've got them in the air fryer, which is nice and easy and quicker too. We've also put a sausage in, so kind of the three of us, which is me, my husband and my son, will kind of all like share it basically. So I've got some green beans, also some purple ones. Now, when I first got these, I thought they were going to stay purple, but I googled it before I cooked them, and yeah, they turned green, which they did, as you'll see in a minute. And yeah, I've just got some broccoli and some leek there as well. So those are our vegetables. We didn't have carrots. So that is my son's there, which you can see. He's got some pie. I think he also had a bit of sausage too. And yeah, obviously you've just got the vegetables on his plate as well, and we've put the gravy on it. And then that's my portion. As you can see, a chunk of my pie is missing because that is on my son's plate. But you know, there we go. And those are the green beans there. So you can kind of see they do look a bit darker, but unfortunately they're not purple, which would have been quite cool, but never mind. And then that is his plate once he was finished. So he did quite well with it. Some of the vegetables are missing, so you'll see there, yeah, he didn't really have like much vegetables, but he had a little bit. The next meal was when we cooked this, was the first time that I ever did it, which was kind of, I can't remember what it's called, I've forgotten it, like a creamy cheesy pasta dish. So those are the ingredients for the sauce. So yeah, we're just doing, I think it was like 2.5 cups. So you'll see, and I can always leave the recipes linked below if you'd like to see, but I'm just using 2.5 cups of milk. My husband prefers dairy, so I just use dairy, and yeah, obviously Arthur will have that as well. So that goes in, and then the recipe did say that it works better if you warm up the milk. So that is what I was doing there. And then I just needed some butter, so I've got that in a different saucepan and just melting that down. And there it is, having melted there. So this did take me quite a long time to cook actually, but I'd imagine maybe it would take a bit less time kind of once you're used to cooking it. But yeah, it did take me a while. It does take quite a long time to whisk as well. So obviously yeah, just putting on the pasta there, and then I'm just adding in the flour kind of bit by bit to make a roux. But yeah, it does take quite a lot of whisking. I don't know if there's a quick way of doing it. Let me know if you know, because I'm no sort of expert. Like I said, I don't really do this that often. I make the sauce when I do a lasagna too, but kind of that's about it really. But yeah, so that is what it's looking like. I'm just going to add some garlic in. I added quite a lot, which I think it was fine. I just kind of chucked it in really. And then I also added a bit of black pepper in that sauce as well. And again, as you can see, it is thickening up over time. So this is my husband filming this bit, so I had to go and see Arthur, but yeah, he's just adding in all that grated cheese there, which makes a lovely cheese sauce. Now I would definitely say, which you'll see at the end, I can't remember if I maybe halved the recipe, but actually it was still a bit too much sauce really. I probably shouldn't have used all of it because it was quite like a wet pasta. I probably could have used a bit less, but never mind, I know for next time. So yeah, I'm just going to use that corned bacon there. I'm also going to do mushrooms, which I'll just put in the bowl with some butter and then microwave them. I don't put it in because my husband doesn't like mushrooms, and Arthur is kind of on and off with them. I'm just frying the corned bacon. We did actually have another slice in the end too, because it didn't look quite enough. So when the sauce is done, I just stirred that through and just kind of like heated it all through with the pasta as well. And as you can see there is quite a lot of sauce. So yeah, next time I will definitely do a bit less. And then I'm just mashing up some broccoli just so that Arthur gets all the goodness and nutrients from the broccoli there. It does make the pasta a bit green, which you'll see, but I tried to like not do it too much and maybe do some pieces without it in, just in case it puts them off. And yeah, we just kind of like tore the bacon into little pieces. So it's kind of like a carbonara, but the sauce is obviously not really, because the carbonara is actually made from eggs, which I didn't even realise until I was googling it, because I probably never had it, not even a vegetarian version. And yeah, I'm just stirring my mushrooms in. That is what Arthur's looks like too. To be honest with you, I think he only tried like a few pieces of the pasta. It wasn't a good meal for him. I think the amount of sauce did put him off though, so I think next time I'll maybe do his kind of quite dry, and then maybe like build up to having more sauce. And yeah, I just added some tomato to his too. Then the next meal that I'm making is starting off with the rice, which is going to be a spicy rice, and I'll show you the spices I've got in there in a sec. I'm just using these sausages. Usually we have this meal with burgers actually, but yeah, with sausages today. The Garden Gourmet ones, they are really nice actually, as are their burgers. Again, using the air fryer, I would really recommend it. I think I say that on every Meals of the Week video, or my food hauls video, which if you are new, then I do post food hauls every Friday, so if you want to kind of see my weekly shop. For some reason this week we only had white onions. I don't know, maybe it was for that pasta recipe. I don't think I use onions anyway. I don't know, maybe it was a different recipe, but yeah, usually we get red onions. But anyway, those are the spices that I've got there, and yeah, just using white onions. So that's it really, rice, sausages, and then it all goes in a roll. I always do mayonnaise on one half and tomato ketchup on the other. I've got some peas in the rice too, and I think it's like 2.5 sausages or something. I've got a bit of tomato in my roll as well. So yeah, sorry, it's a bit messy. I didn't film kind of every step, but I'm sure you kind of get the idea of that meal. And yeah, it's just one that I really like. Really, it's simple, although it is a bit fiddly because you've got to do the onions and everything separately. But yeah, it is a meal that I really enjoy. And then Arthur has just got plain rice. Sometimes I do spicy rice for him, not that spicy, but today I just did plain rice for him, and he's got a sausage kind of cut into strips there. So you can see he did have some of the rice, and he did have, I think it must have been about like half the sausage or so, all of his tomato, that's his favourite. And then the next meal is pizza, which we always have on a Friday, and this was a dough ball that you can buy. I can't remember the make off the top of my head, but you just roll it out. Then I've cut some potato wedges, just normal and sweet potato again, and once again using the air fryer. They take about 26 minutes in there. So once I've rolled out the pizza base, I was trying to cut it in half, but as you can tell, using one hand wasn't that successful. But there it is, it's cut in half, and that's because me and Matt have like different toppings. We have different cheese. I have vegan cheese and Matt just has dairy cheese, and I might have like tomatoes or mushrooms. But the first step is just to put on some passata, which I've warmed up, and I've added some herbs into that, and I kind of just dollop it on. It takes a few spoonfuls, I would say, sort of each side. I probably do it slightly differently every time, but that is the kind of first step. And there is some excess sauce there, so I always save that and then I give it to Arthur kind of like a dipping sauce, as if it was tomato ketchup. I actually ran out of vegan cheese, so that was the amount, and then I'm just having to add dairy cheese on mine. So I do eat dairy. Sometimes I'm not vegan or dairy free, but I do have a lot of plant-based, I mean I'm vegetarian, but I mean I have dairy-free cheese and milk like 99% of the time. But yeah, unfortunately I had run out of cheese, so I am just using some dairy cheese anyway. And also this week, unfortunately, I didn't have, or I'd run out of mushrooms and tomatoes, which I would at least had one. So it was a bit of a plain pizza for me. I still liked it, but yeah, usually I would have had more than that. So I'm also just adding some green beans in, just because that was a vegetable. Just makes a change from like broccoli and peas, which is kind of like the ones that we always seem to end up with a lot of meals for Arthur. So yeah, some green beans there, and sometimes he will chew on them, so they're not a bad one. So that's Arthur's. I've also done a boiled egg, so he does really well with egg. He doesn't really eat pizza much. He might kind of have a bit of the cheese, but obviously it's not that nutritious anyway, really. It's just cheese, and you know, it's not loads in there. Whereas egg has got all the protein and the iron, so yeah, we'll usually put something else on with this meal, whether it's egg, whether it's a sausage or hummus or something. And as you can see, I've moved it around and put some of the passata in that little section there. So this is what my plate looks like at the end. As you can see, we'll just have beans with it. I always have tomato ketchup and mayonnaise as well. I just like to have both sauces, really. And then this is Arthur's once he's eaten it, so all the eggs gone. He did really well with his wedges. He kind of chewed like the first little bit of pizza and chewed the green beans and did a bit of sauce. But yeah, that's what he has. He also has yogurt, by the way, quite a lot as like a dessert or other afters. So the next meal is going to be a deconstructed shepherd's pie. So these are the ingredients which I'm using. I am going to do lentils with this one, which I don't always. Sometimes I just do mince, but lentils are amazing really, so I'm just going to use them as well today. So as you can see, I'm weighing them out. Usually it's just around 100 grams, and then just some normal potatoes too. I wish it was that simple and that easy and quick to cut them up, peel them and stuff, but yeah, so obviously just potatoes as well. And then the lentils take quite a long time to cook. I think they take 25 minutes or so. So that's the onion. As I said, usually we would have red onions, but we had white onions this week. And then I use this callow stock cube. They do really low salt ones, but this is just, I think it's just like an ordinary one that we had for whatever reason. I don't think the shop had low salt when we bought them. So I'm giving that a go. I think I make it up to the instructions, but I don't end up using all of the stock because it is a bit much. I probably use about half, I think. Again, this is one of these recipes where I sort of do it slightly different every time I cook it. Like sometimes I will fry the onions, but if we've already had a few fried foods in a week, then I won't for this meal, and that kind of goes also when we do pasta as well. We don't always fry onions. So that makes it quite quick, really, to be honest, and easy. If I'm not frying it, because I just can kind of bung it all in the saucepan all in one go. I just put the onions in, I've got the mince there, and then I've also got chopped tomatoes. So I usually add about a third to half a can. And then I can just add some of my stock, and I usually put some in, and then kind of when that goes, you know, when it kind of thickens up, then I'll add a bit more. But yeah, as I say, I don't use the whole amount of stock because it would just be too much. So that is basically what I put in. I also add some herbs and some black pepper. I think next time I might try adding some grated carrot in, because I did do that in a chili quite recently and that was really good as well. So that's it. We usually have carrots, but this week we didn't have them. So yeah, that's it. So we have mashed potato, there's the mince mixture, lentils have been kind of stirred through that as well, and then we've just got the vegetables on the side. So of course that is Arthur's portion, and then that is my plate there. It's a bit of a shame we didn't have carrots, because that does taste a bit nicer. Like I would have that in with the sort of the shepherd's pie mixture. Anyway, yeah, didn't have carrots this week. So I will also have some extra gravy poured on top, because I probably am a bit extra like that. It was actually quite runny anyway. I probably put a bit too much stock in, but yeah, I did just add a bit of gravy on top too. So that is what the final dish looks like. And then in terms of what Arthur ate, he does really well this meal. I think I put this on my toddler meals because he really enjoys it. Anything kind of similar to this, he does really well. So we were pleased with that. So that concludes this Meals of the Week video. I really hope that you enjoyed it. Please do subscribe if you like this kind of video, and I'll see you soon. Thank you for watching. Bye everyone.